You're listening to the My Simplified Life Podcast, and this is episode number 293. Welcome to the My Simplified Life Podcast, a place where you will learn that your past and even your present don't define your future. Regardless of what stage of life you're in, I want you to feel inspired and encouraged to pursue your dreams, simplify your life, and start taking action. I'm your host, Michelle Glogovac, author of How to Get On Podcasts, the podcast matchmaker, and CEO and founder of the MLG Collective. I'm excited to share the stories and life lessons of changemakers and authors with you while taking you on my own journey. This is My Simplified Life. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Michelle Glogovac. Today, I thought maybe it would be time for a solo episode because you have not heard from just me in a long time. We are up to 3 episodes a week now. 2 are interviews, and Wednesday is booked and unfiltered with my co-host, Steph Hawker-Smith, aka Pie Lady Books. And that has been such a blast. In all honesty, 3 episodes a week, it's more, obviously, than 1 or 2, but the amount of time that we have been able to condense with the help of AI, good or bad, has been amazing and truly the reason why I'm able to create 3 episodes a week. The only downfall would be how many books I can read in order to interview authors, but I'm bringing on change makers and in addition to authors. And honestly, who is a change maker? It's anyone who is working towards positive change in our world. And I really feel we need that more than ever. I have gone on my rants of politics and what a shit show the current administration truly is. We knew it was coming. If you didn't know that this was what was going to happen, then you were living under a rock or you were in denial. We knew all of this was coming. It was written out in plain English language in Project 2025. And so here we are. What do we do with it? I launched January 29th, California Moms for Good. It has a Substack and an Instagram. And how that came about was that I was seeing all of these state-run mom accounts that were all advocating and doing activist work to help ensure that we wouldn't see Project 2025 play out, to educate voters, to show up as moms, to support our children and our families and the rest of us. And in looking at all of these groups, there wasn't one that existed for California. And I asked around. I did my research and decided that I would launch one because although California is recognized as a blue state per se, it has red pockets and it could easily, as we're seeing what happened in the United States, turn purple and then red. And I fear that because California is an awesome state. We have all the rights that we deserve, we want, we need, and we don't want it to change to be somewhere where you don't have rights to your body, where you don't have rights to education, where you can't get access to free lunch at school, where religion is forced upon you in schools. These are all things that are at stake and so much more. And so I feel that California, we need to start paying more attention. We unfortunately have Governor Newsom's launched his own podcast that whether you listen to it or you don't or agree with it, he's had people like Charlie Kirk and Steve Bannon on. And I don't think that these are individuals that deserve more airtime. Have people of opposing views on your show, but let's not give more airtime to these creepy individuals who are just truly not good human beings. And so if our leader of our state is doing that, then we need to make sure that we combat that. And so California Moms for Good launched. It's a lot of work to keep up with all of the politics that goes on in our country and in our state. So I'm very grateful to the friends and literal strangers who are sending me news clips and different protests that are going around so I can post and share them. And it's truly a collaboration. So I am so grateful for that. We've got the book club, Books That Build, that is going on second month, and I'm excited about doing that in person this month. By the time this airs, we will have had our book club meeting in my home with the author, Jennifer Cox. which is incredible because we need to have more in-person events. I would love to see the city of San Jose grow as a place for people, especially authors, to come and to visit, because right now I think so many go to San Francisco because it's the big city. But San Jose is a really big city too. Our population's 1 million people. So I am sure we can get more together. And I invite any author, if you want to come to San Jose, let's do this together. Reach out to me. I will make it happen with you. And these are the things that are just going on. I was just doing an interview with Steph, and we were talking about dreamers and doers and which ones we are. And I often question, why am I doing? Why is it that I look at something and say, nobody else is doing it, so I better do it? And it does become overwhelming at times. So I'm dealing with that. How do I take a step back? How do I ensure that I'm not only consuming everything, but that I pause and reflect and step away, that I put the phone away, that I don't doom scroll, that I just take time to breathe and to be present. And if you have kids, then you know that having kids will ensure that your brain takes a break, that you have those distractions. We've started soccer season again, so that is in full swing. And so it's just a season of keeping busy, of keeping going, of trying not to allow the constant negative stuff that is infiltrating our lives to consume me. And I hope that you're able to do the same, whether it's through meditations or journaling or taking a walk or listening to podcasts or reading a book. It's important to connect with other people, to find those individuals who not only are like-minded, but understand what you're going through in all of this, because it's really heavy. Whether or not you are consuming everything, this current time is extremely heavy. There is a nonstop infiltration of new executive orders, of things that are just coming at us, news and news breaks and literally everything. And so I think it's really important to be able to have those conversations with other people that get it. And it doesn't have to be that they fully agree with everything, but I guarantee you that if you spark a conversation with another mom, another friend, a neighbor, that, hey, did you see this? Can you believe it? I mean, literally, if you just say, how are you doing? The world's a shitstorm. People understand. They get it because it truly is. And what's going on affects every single person. It really doesn't matter who you are affected. My children are affected. You are affected. Everyone is affected. So another reminder, don't just call your representatives, but get to know your local government. Get to know your council member, your mayor, reach out to them. We went to another city hall meeting this past week with the Cub Scouts, and we sat in on a council meeting so that they could get to learn what city government's about and how important it is, how it affects their everyday life down to like the streets they cross and the crossing guards, how they're going to get to the airport, because that was a topic of discussion. Firefighters on medical emergency calls. These were all things that were being discussed that affect these kids. And so it was great for them to learn about this and to see who it is that represents them in these council meetings. And I think it's so important that we teach our children this. Civic engagement is key, because if they're not understanding what it is to be civically engaged, to vote, to know how government works, then what kind of adults will they become? Will they vote at all? We see that there's a large part of our population that isn't voting. And that's a good part of why we got into this mess that we're in today. So encourage your kids to get involved. Share with them what you're doing. My kids have heard me call my representatives. They see me sit in on town halls. They see me writing emails. Let them see what you're doing, because they know that things are going on too. So I think that is so important, to stay active, stay engaged. And then also, don't just complain when your representative's doing something good or positive. Send them a thank you. I guarantee you they will not only appreciate it, but the thank yous are probably going to get you on the map and their radar, even more so than all of the complaints, because they only hear from so many constituents when you're complaining. So be that sunshine in their dark day, because this is a really tough job as well. What are we going to do about it? I don't know. I don't have any of the answers. But what I do know is that the more we talk about it, the more we can bring about change, the more we can band together to be a community, to resist, to stand up together, to speak out and vocalize what we want to go on. So I encourage you to keep using your voices, to show up. Don't lose hope. Don't doom scroll, because there are better days coming. I'm sure of it. And I'm going to stick to that hope and that guarantee, because otherwise, oh boy, then we're in a whole not a hope of trouble, a whole lot of trouble. So encourage yourself every day to look on the bright side, to connect with someone else, because when we know we're not alone, then we can have hope. We can make that difference and stand up. And I assure you that you are not alone, not in any of this. So go call your reps, but reach out to your local council member too. Find out what they're doing. Find out how you can get involved. Join the Persist Network. They're doing amazing online events, and it's going to turn in person as well. You will find me there for sure. Just get involved. Now is not the time to sit back and relax. Now is the time to speak up, to stand up, and to show up in all you do.